EA and Paramount have officially greenlit a Battlefield movie adaptation, but this isn't just another generic military flick. With a powerhouse lead potentially attached and a massive studio backing it, the stakes for this project couldn't be higher. Now, before you roll your eyes and think about the long history of terrible video game movies, let's look at who is steering the ship. The reports indicate that Michael B. Jordan is not only eyeing the lead role, but is also set to produce through his company Outlier Society. This is a massive win for the project. Jordan isn't just a box office draw, he's a genuine fan of the medium and has a track record of bringing physical intensity and emotional depth to his roles. Whether he's stepping into the ring in Creed or commanding the screen in Black Panther, he brings a level of prestige that a Battlefield movie desperately needs to avoid the straight-to-streaming feel that plagues many adaptations. You might be asking yourself, why now? Why Battlefield? Well, we are currently living in the golden age of video game adaptations. From the gritty realism of The Last of Us to the stylistic brilliance of Fallout, Hollywood has finally figured out that if you respect the source material, the audience will show up. EA clearly sees the writing on the wall. They aren't just looking to make a one-off movie. They're looking to build what they call a Battlefield universe. This cinematic expansion is part of a much larger strategy to revitalize the brand after some rocky game releases in recent years. By bringing in a star like Michael B. Jordan, they're signaling to the world that Battlefield is more than just a game. It's a premier entertainment IP. Of course, translating a multiplayer-focused shooter into a narrative-driven film is no easy task. Battlefield is known for its only-in-Battlefield moments, those unscripted, chaotic instances where a jet crashes into a tank while a sniper leaps from a collapsing bridge. How do you capture that feeling in a script? If the movie is just 90 minutes of guys in camouflage shooting at each other in a desert, it's going to fail. We've seen that movie 1,000 times before. To truly succeed, the film needs to capture the scale that makes the games unique. We're talking about massive, destructible environments and the feeling that the world is literally falling apart around the characters. Before we go any further into what the plot might look like and which era of the franchise they might choose, I want to take a quick second to ask for your support. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want to stay up to date on all things gaming and cinema, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us grow and allows me to keep bringing you these deep dives into the stories you care about. Now, let's talk about the potential hurdles this movie faces. One of the biggest objections viewers often have with military movies is that they can feel a bit hollow or overly nationalistic. However, the Battlefield games have explored a variety of themes, from the gritty World War history to the near-future speculation of 2142. If the production team is smart, they'll lean into the storytelling style seen in the war stories from the more recent games, which focused on personal, human perspectives within the massive machinery of war. This would give Michael B. Jordan something real to chew on as an actor, rather than just being a generic soldier figure. There's also the question of competition. We know that a Call of Duty movie has been in development hell for what feels like an eternity. By moving forward now, Battlefield has the chance to stake its claim as the definitive modern military cinematic experience. It's a certain irony in the fact that Battlefield, a game known for its massive scale and destruction, might beat its more cinematic rival, Call of Duty, to the big screen. It's a bold move, and it shows that EA is willing to take risks to put the franchise back on top of the mountain. Critics might argue that the lack of a central iconic character in the Battlefield series makes it harder to adapt something like Tomb Raider or Halo, and they're not entirely wrong. Battlefield has always been about the nameless soldier, the person in the mud, but that is its greatest strength. It provides a blank canvas for the writers to create a compelling new story without being bogged down by decades of rigid lore. They can create a new hero that we can follow through the chaos, and with Michael B. Jordan's charisma, they already have a head start. Imagine a film that utilizes the levolution mechanic, a concept where the entire map changes based on player actions.
In a film context, this could result in some of the most spectacular set pieces we've seen in modern action cinema. Picture an urban combat sequence where a dam breaks, flooding the entire city and forcing the characters to change their tactics on the fly. That is the kind of spectacle that would justify a theater ticket and separate a battlefield movie from your standard action fare. As we look toward the future of this project, there are plenty of unknowns. We don't have a confirmed release date, and we don't know which director will be brave enough to take on this massive undertaking. However, the involvement of Paramount and a star of Jordan's caliber suggests that this is a high-priority project with a serious budget. It's an exciting time to be a fan, even if there's a bit of healthy skepticism involved. If they can manage to balance the heart-pounding action with a story that actually makes us care about the people behind the triggers, we could be looking at the next big action franchise. In closing, the path from a digital battlefield to a Hollywood blockbuster is paved with challenges, but the components are finally coming together. We have the star power, the studio backing, and a gaming community hungry for a win. Whether you're a veteran of the franchise who's been playing since 1942 or a newcomer who just loves a good action movie, this is definitely a project to keep on your radar. Only time will tell if they can capture that lightning in a bottle, but for now, the objective is clear. Battlefield is going to the movies, and it's bringing the big guns. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.